Welcome to another feature episode of Reinvent Your Brand, a podcast dedicated to helping content creators, marketers, brand strategy consultants, and everything of the like become better at their jobs, their work, and everything passionate in between. My name is Felix, the founder of MSC Innovations, a digital branding and marketing agency. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to create more meaningful content for your content strategy. Now, here's the sitch.
So what's the sitch?
Anybody can make content no matter what happens, right? Anybody can whip out their phone and start filming something and then just posting it on whatever social media platform they use. Heck, however way you commute, you can even just whip your phone out and start filming whatever view your usual commute looks like, whether you have your own car or you take some form of public transportation. You could just whip your phone out and just start filming your commute. In addition to doing that, you could just start putting quotes or anything motivational, inspirational, just like everything you see on most social media posts on the internet. However, there's a difference between creating content and more meaningful content. You see, content is something that you just merely produce and place on the internet. Therefore, all meaningful content is considered content. However, not all content is meaningful. That said, I define meaningful content as content that is made, created, manufactured with a strong purpose, intent, and meaningful summary to the consumer audience. In addition to customer relationship management, creating meaningful content is one of the greatest differentiators between good branding and marketing strategy versus exceptional. With that said, let's cut right to the gist of it and let's get into a very strong blueprint on how you can create more meaningful content for your marketing and branding strategy in 2023. Number one is to search common problems on Google. If you work for a company or are a business owner yourself, ask yourself, what are some of the most common problems that you regularly answer or are regularly asked? If you're a beginning venture or you have some form of writer's block, in other words, you can't think of any ideas on what common problems tend to come in your industry, you could either search people who are just like you or search people who are working in the same industry as you are. You see, one of the most common things that you'll see on any given website through any company that you have stake with is an FAQ section. What is an FAQ section? An FAQ section is a section dedicated to frequently answered questions. And as such, this little section on a website usually answers any question, such as the Made a Verified program, where you could purchase a subscription to make yourself verified through both Facebook and Instagram. An FAQ for Maida's website may contain a question like, if I buy a subscription for Maida Verified, will it cover both Facebook and Instagram? Real answer to that, by the way, is no. If you buy a subscription, it can only be verified on one or the other side. You can buy both verification subscriptions at a separate price, which will come out to about $27. But I digress. The point I'm trying to get to here is that instead of creating an answer to that question, leaving it on the site that about only 50% of your consumers will probably see, why not create content out of this particular answer? If you have the budget, this is where you can bring clients, influencers, partners, or anybody else who might have a stake with whatever your company or business sells and have them answer the question on a more personal basis. So, going back to the Maida Verified example, if you're Maida in this instance, you definitely have the budget to get a whole number of creators' answers on the topic of getting verified through either Facebook or Instagram. Not only can you answer that question, but you can also talk about the alternatives and the behind the scenes look for every single creator. So for example, if I were Maida and I decided to hire Mr. Beast to answer the question on getting verified through either Facebook or Instagram, I would have him talk about both of those experiences. In addition to talking about those experiences about getting verified through both Facebook and Instagram, I would have him talk about the benefits of getting verified for each separate platform. This, in a sense, for this particular example, can mitigate the backlash that comes with having to spend more money for different subscriptions. On the other hand, if you decided to go on the Google search route, one of the most notable things you could do is to go onto Google or whatever favorite search engine you prefer and look up some of the most common questions within your industry or vertical. If the first page already answers any of your questions or has any inspiration for any of the ideas that you have, take the inspiration from the data within the first few search pages, mix it along with your personal experiences and data, and create content out of it. Number two is to create posts out of it. Now, we answered most of that in the very first point. However, there are a few things in this second point that I never really answered in that first example. The first is that your posting method should not be singular, meaning you should have an extremely diverse portfolio of posts across social media platforms. Kind of like a good investing portfolio, the more diverse your posting portfolio is, the more diverse your outreach is going to be. So going back to the Mr. Beast example, the data that you harvest and create into content can be transformed into the following options. A, long form content, which is YouTube videos such as this one. B, short form content such as YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, or TikToks. C, blog posts such as the ones you find on Medium, Reddit, Quora, or any other blog from any given website. D, podcast posts, kind of like this one. And E, picture carousels. And I want to talk about that last point about picture carousels very, very emphatically, because as much as video content is extremely popular and is one of the single drivers to the growth of your content marketing strategy, there are a few things that still remain timeless. One of them being that a picture is worth 1,000 words. You see, in addition to posting picture carousels and making your description very vivid, very detailed, and very informative and valuable, you could also do the same exact thing on other platforms that are dedicated to pictures, such as Pinterest. And Pinterest has a much different audience than the ones that you'd find on Instagram or on TikTok. However, they have an audience that is also ready to buy and purchase whatever you have. So posting picture carousels and posting really, really well done pictures in general can still net you the conversions that you look for. Number 3 and final point of this particular episode, post on both social media and your website with effective CTAs. Now, once your content is created and ready to post, this is where you post your content on any given social media platform. For some of you, you may have a social media management tool such as Hootsuite or Buffer or Social Pilot or Hello Woofy, like I do. It's one thing to get your content ready to post, but the most effective way to go and post it is get your content primed for posting by doing the following things. Load multiple posts to be posted on a posting schedule. Prepare a whole list of CTAs that will prompt people to book, inquire, or pay for your product or service. Use active verbs, by the way, instead of passive verbs. And prepare your content for all marketing channels that you're going to be using and to post accordingly. After all, like I mentioned before, different audiences on different platforms will react to different methods that are dedicated to those platforms. I do have a couple honorable mentions that should be noted. The very first honorable mention is to get feedback. In order to improve and find better ways to serve your audience, you've got to ask for feedback from your current base of customers. Two of the most common ways that you could ask for feedback, no matter what budget you have for your company or organization, is to post surveys, assessments, or polls on your marketing channels or in the comments of another post. Post a biannual survey, assessment, or poll drip campaign with incentives at the very end for offers. In addition to creating surveys, assessments, and polls that can be sent out through email campaigns, within those email campaigns yourself is an opportunity for you to give your audience a sneak preview of some of the content that you have coming up prior to its release, and maybe perhaps a few incentives such as discounts or special insider access for a new subscription program that your company or organization is going to launch. Any of those will work. Anything you've got in order to add on to the email campaign that's going to be sent out. Honorable mention number 2 is very simple. Just rinse and repeat. For from your feedback data is step 1 again, which is to have your potential questions and answers to be looked up through a web search, which in turn brings you to step 2, which is more content for you to post, which ultimately leads you up to step 3, which is to consistently optimize your posts on marketing channels with much more better CTAs than the last posts. Though this is just one way of creating meaningful content for your marketing plan, it's still a proven plan that consistently boosts conversions for your business. That's it for today's episode of Reinnovate Your Brand, my friends. I am your host, Felix Lopez, founder of MSC Innovations, a branding and marketing strategy agency, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. Before you leave, hit the like and subscribe button for more content, and please share this channel for anybody who may need the content on this channel. My goal as a founder is to not only curate content and answer questions that anybody has about the marketing and branding world and make it ready for your fingertips to be consumed, but as a founder as well, I'm here to help you implement whatever marketing or business plan that you may have. So please, if you are watching this video, please share the content that you find in this video. So if you find it particularly helpful for you, please share the content to other people who may need this video. Last but not least, comment below what are some of the most sought after questions in your industry that you wish to solve. Post in the comments below. There's a chance I might reply. Up until then, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.